Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. This is Merrick here, back with another daily chess puzzle video. This is day 202 of posting a chess puzzle every day for a year. And in this video, I will be going through a game recently from Norway Chess. This is Fabiano Caruana as black versus Bek Abudusaro white. So Nordbeck opens up with e4. Fabiano responds with e5. So knight f3, knight c6, and bishop b5. This is typical Lopez. And then knight f6. Now, Nordbeck responds with d3, a little atypical, but it's still a pretty common move. Bishop c5 is what plays. Bishop takes c6, d takes c6, cast bishop d6, defending the pawn that the knight was attacking. And then knight b takes 2, developing the knight. The knight can come to knight c4 or to b3 as it did in the game. Bishop e developing, knight b3. This opens up the bishop as well, so there's potential ideas of bishop g5. And now b6, Caruana plays b6 to prevent knight a5, potential ideas of attacking this weak pawn chain. Then knight g5, attacking the light square bishop on e6, since black currently has the double bishop pair for absolutely nothing right now. So bishop g4, f3, bishop h5, king h1, trying to get off this diagonal any potential ideas that may come from the dark square bishop. For example, if we play d4 in some positions, let's say now even, e takes d4, and if we play knight takes d4, there are potential ideas of bishop c5. It is generally a good idea to play king h1 to prevent any pins from the dark square bishop. Caruana plays knight d7. He's rerouting the knight to c5 or knight f8 to go to the square on e6 after kicking out the knight on g5 with f6. So knight h3, Nordbeck anticipates this and retreats his knight, also planning to play bishop g5 later on. So f6 proceeds with his Nordbeck reroutes his knight to c4, and knight c5 going to perk square on e6 will control many squares, and knight c4, knight e, and Nordbeck reroutes his knight to e2, where it would be better placed. Now, the position is pretty much set. Nordbeck wants to play for the center, to play d4 one day, and Caruana has already made his intentions clear. He wants to attack the king side with his f6, e5, g5 pawn chain, and potentially he will be pushing his h. So bishop f7, he prepares to start pushing his pawns, and now Nordbeck plays queen e1, preparing to defend later on, and Nordbeck snaps off Caruana's dark square bishop. So Caruana has the opportunity to undouble his pawn structure, but now he doesn't have the double bishop pair. So Nordbeck goes for a4, planning to play a5. Caruana continues with his plan, ignores Nordbeck's planning, and then he wants h3. So Nordbeck disregards this, plays a5. This threatens a takes b6, for example, if h3, a takes b6, and this rook will be pinning, so there's no chance of black recapture. So Caruana just plays b5, and Nordbeck prevents black's threat of h3 by placing his own pawn there. a6, Caruana prevents from playing a6, since after a move like king f8 or castles, a6 will fix this pawn structure here, and the dark square bishop will be pretty powerful, as it will be keeping an eye on the a7 pawn throughout the entire game. In addition to this pawn move on a6 also opens up the queen to a5 and gains a lot of space for white. So Nordbeck plays a6, d4. Finally, Nordbeck breaks through with d4, attacking the center, and so Caruana plays c5. So please pause the video here and think about what Nordbeck should play. Should Nordbeck go for d5, or should he try to defend his center with c3? So yeah, the right move is c3, what he played in the game. d5 is viable as well, but after knight f4, the center is pretty much closed, and black will have a favorable position since he has more space on the king side and generally comfortable position. So Nordbeck should keep the tension in the center with c3, and so Caruana plays king f8 here. The reason why he doesn't play castles here is that he wants to maintain his pressure on the h. If castles, there could even be potential ideas of g4 or g3, trying to blow open the black's king side, where white can actually attack black instead of the way around. So king f8 does the same thing as castle. His king headed for g7, but the rook will stay on h8, where it will keep pressure on the white's king side. Nordbeck plays a pretty natural d1, directing its attention to the center, and Nordbeck regroups his pieces to prepare for some center attack. So rook c8, rook a8, rook d2, queen c7, rook a1, protecting the pawn on a5, hd8, shuffling some pieces, and b4. This is a crucial move. Nordbeck finally decides to challenge Caruana's control of the center, and so Caruana decides to recapture on d4. So I want you to evaluate this position. What do you think is the valuation in this position? Is white slightly better? Is black slightly better? Is black much better? Or is black winning? Or is white winning? Or is white just much better? So feel free to pause now and analyze the position and tell me what you think. So in this position, white is much better, since after a move after queen e7, what black has, since we are threatening rook c1. So after queen e7, we play d5 and attack this knight. The knight will probably go to f4. We can even snap this knight off, and after g takes f4 or e takes f4, we will have a comfortable position after bishop d4. This is an opposite colored bishop position, but white will definitely be the only one who's playing for advantage here, and this is why I conclude that white is much better in this position. So Nordbeck does not play d5. He keeps the tension on the board and plays rook a d1. I'm not sure if this is the best move. d5 was definitely a choice for him. Rook d1, rook h8, keeping pressure on the king side again. Queen e1, a dubious move. I don't understand what the point of this is. It could be to challenge the black's control of the c file. I feel like here, even here, d5 is still a very good. So queen e1, rook c4, attacking b4 and controlling some squares. Takes, d6, attacking the pawn on a6. The Caruana threatened to exchange pieces. Rook takes a6 should not work, because after rook takes d1, queen takes d1, there's even ideas of knight c7 or just queen takes b4, where this position is quite complicated, and it probably does favor white. So Nordbeck takes, knight takes, g3. He finally breaks open on the king side, because in this position, it's not white who has the advantage anymore. It's black. He has way more space. He's pushing, and in a move, his knight might come to c6 and put pressure on white's weak pawns on the queen side. So Nordbeck plays g3, takes, knight takes g3, and he threatens knight f5 check, which would force the queen and the king. Caruana, of course, does not miss this. He plays bishop e6, attacking the h3 pawn and defending against knight f5 check. Nordbeck plays queen d2, doubling up the d file and attacking the knight d8. So Caruana naturally plays knight f7. Knight c6 is also an idea, but after, let's say, bishop c5, I think white is doing alright. So knight f7, bishop c5, queen e8, preparing to go to h8 and attacking this pawn. So Nordbeck now sacrifices the pawn with h4. It's a pretty bold sacrifice. If g takes h4, white's king side will open up, and black's king will be in a little bit of trouble after, let's say, here, even knight takes f6 might, but also knight f1 is an option as well, where knight 3 and g1 check, and black's king is wide open, and it can be anyone's game after that. So h4, queen h8. Nordbeck has to close up the king side now with h5, queen h7, king. These are all fine. g4. Caruana places pressure on Nordbeck with g4 and offers him exchange of queen. Queen takes h6 check would guarantee Caruana a slightly more pleasant position, but it would be equal. Bishop e3 is also one of the best moves, but Caruana retreats, and his queen is heading c8, where now, as you can see, his rook won't be running to play rook c2, pinning the queen to the king, and this position is quite dangerous for Nordbeck. And he plays bishop c5. I think this is a crucial moment for him, since he should just play rook c1 and exchange off the pieces. He's on the back foot here. And after bishop takes g4, he plays rook f1, which is quite strange. Rook c1 would guarantee equality almost immediately after exchanging, and I do not see why he did not go for this. Maybe he was pushing for a win, but I think rook c1 was the best move. Rook f1, bishop h3. Again, rook c1 definitely guarantees equality. Rook g1, king h7. And he goes for h6, which is the final blunder in this position. Rook c1 would still guarantee equality, as I said before, but he played h6. Can you guys pause the video here, comment down below what you think the answer is. This is the puzzle. What did Caruana play here to seal the deal? So he just played queen g4, his king, queen in, a bunch of stuff, attacking white's position. This is already a really untenable position since white's pieces are quite disorganized and vulnerable. So knight f5, queen takes e4. Nordbeck goes for what seems like an attack with rook g7 check, king h8, and tries to gain something from this, but after knight e3, Caruana just calmly recaptures on h6, even though it's attacking the rook on c4, since after capturing the pawn on h6, the king is now attacking the rook on g7. Nordbeck has nothing better than to do knight takes c4, king takes g7, bishop f8 check, king takes, queen takes h6 check. Now, Nordbeck is actually close to equal. Black is much better here, but after he plays queen takes h3 or something like this, b takes c4, Nordbeck has some perpetual check ideas after queen c8, and he should have went for this instead of what he played in the game. In the game he played, and he quickly lost after going for this minor piece, and after Caruana just dominated him. And I will not be doing any more talking, I will just let the game show itself after here, because the technique is beautiful. Attacking the pawn on e5, but Caruana, with his final tactic, he plays f3 check, revealing an attack on g4, the knight on g4. If king takes f3, there's queen f4 check, and after king e2, queen takes g4 check, capturing knight with check. This will be completely played. So, Beck resigned here, and Caruana, Fabiano Caruana, reclaimed the world number 2 spot after just one day of Hikaru Nakamura having the title. So, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this game/puzzles, and I hope to see you in day 203. Let me know what game you guys want me to cover, and I will do gladly. So, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.